See the live video also? Yes. Yes. Okay. Comments would be here. Yes, I have. Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening Bharat, Ankit, Harsh. So welcome to this special session on XAT Algebra. This is a part of our XAT course which will be starting in continuation. These are some of the free sessions we are having right now, and if you want to continue, if you like it, so you can join the course if you have not done so. Okay, good evening everyone. We are having many students on the board. Dev Jyoti, Dev Nisha, Rakhi, Shefali, Mandeep. Namaste. Are you able to hear my voice properly? Is it legible? Clear? I'm having slight lag in the video in front of me. Okay, loud and clear. Thank you, Mandeep. Good. So, ready for today's mathematical extravaganza. Good. No lag at your end. That's nice. Okay. So, let me ask you a few quick questions. Have you appeared in recent CAT? Type yes or no. Okay, good. I'm getting a few thumbs up and many yes also. Nice. So it seems that almost all of you have appeared in CAT. In between, one or two no's are also there. Okay, nice. So that means all of you have been preparing for CAT. You have been studying the same syllabus for quite a few months for sure. Some of you may be studying for maybe last many months or maybe many years. If some of you are repeaters, that may be the case. And some of you are new starters, that can also be the case. Okay, so that is no different as far as Quant is concerned, because majority of the topics in CAT are same, which we are having in XAT also, and for the matter in all other MBA entrance tests also. There is slight difference in the pattern of the test, number of questions, marking scheme, and slight difficulty level. But more or less the difficulty level has become almost same nowadays. There used to be a huge difference in earlier times. So okay, let me start with a brief introduction of mine. So my name is Kamal Lohia, as you can see on the screen, and I have been teaching for CAT and other MBA entrance exams since last about 20 years, and have appeared in CAT and other tests repeatedly, and my highest score so far is 99.99 percentile, at least in QA and LRDI. Is it more difficult than CAT? It used to be, that was assumption earlier, Rehan, but nowadays there is not much difference, as I said earlier. Since the last 3-4 years, almost all tests are on almost same difficulty level, slight less difficulty, slight higher more. In earlier days, in I would say about 10-15 years ago, XAT was considered to be tougher than CAT, especially in the Quant part. But nowadays it is not that much difference. Yes, Shubh Sandhya, what is the weightage of algebra in XAT? See, Bharat, algebra is having the, we can say, almost highest weightage in all the tests nowadays, it's about 25 to 30%, you can say, of the number of questions. So yes, Kajal, I have told about me. So my name is Kamal Lohia, and I've been teaching for CAT since around last 20 years. You can Google for me, you can find at least some of the references. Okay, I think let's start. We should not wait anymore, and we are going to have adventure today. My sole purpose today is that how to develop our better understanding, how to solve the questions in a better way. That is our whole objective, right? Because topics, as I said earlier, many of you have been doing that. In algebra part, if we are talk about, so the first topic is linear equations. All of you are familiar with that, linear equation. Then we have quadratic equation, various other kind of polynomials, maybe cubic or fourth degree polynomial, fifth degree polynomial, which are called quartic and quintic, and many more. And after these polynomials part, we also have different varieties of series like AP, GP, maybe mixtures of that, and some other types of series also. Beside that, we have an important topic which is called functions, which generally crosses the 10th class limit. So till 10th class, we generally don't study much about the functions, but in CAT and XAT, same part. So we have functions, various kind of functions like logarithmic function, absolute value function, which is also called modulus function. Then we have greatest integer function, and many more. There are many new combinations, new functions are also created by the examiner, so that all of you can check in your previous year's questions. You have seen me somewhere. Yes, you can Google me for that. Now let's continue with the business. So as I said earlier, so we are going to we are going to check our present level of understanding and how we solve the questions in a better way. Okay. So first tell me, how much are you familiar, how much you are comfortable with the linear equations? Do you consider it easy, or is it difficult? Specifically word problems. If we are having word problems, we have to convert them in equations and then solve. Is it easy or difficult? Yes, एक month में हो जाएगा आकाश. Linear equation, moderate, easy. Okay, on the easier side, yes. See, to begin with the questions on all these topics which I have just told. Oh, some of you find it very easy, some of you find difficult also. Okay, let's see. So we are going to discuss many of the questions now. And as I said earlier, that my objective is not only to get the answer. Of course, you will be getting the answers, but how did you get that answer? That is more important for me. Okay, so my objective is only that. How do we solve the questions? How do we understand the language of the question, and how do we approach it? And what could have been a better way to answer that question? That is our sole objective. Okay, so I'm starting with the first question, and here it is on your screen. I will be giving you a few minutes, and I expect you to write your answers in the comments. So here is the first question. I'm reading it for you. It says, Radha is 9 years old and her mother, Kirtida, is 35 years old presently. In how many years will Kirtida be twice as old as her daughter? You can read the question on your own, and I am looking for the answers in the comments. Okay, 17, 4, 17, 17, 17. Okay, many of you are getting it the answer right. It's 17. I didn't need to see my watch that how much time I should give it to you. Okay. Did you make any equation? How did you solve it? Did you make any equation, or you just work with numbers? Please write numbers only or equations. To answer this question, okay, many of you from equation O, no simple logic. See, we are having different ways how students are solving it. Numbers. Yes, many of you work with numbers only. Good. Some of you are solving by equation. Okay, let's see here how you can make equation. I'm writing it for those who are unable to solve so far. So it says, okay, so Radha is 9 years old. So Radha and her mother Kirtida. So Radha is 9 years old presently. This is a present age. It is present age. Radha is 9 years old and her mother Kirtida is 35. And question is asking us, in how many years? Means after how many years will Kirtida, that is mother, be twice as old as her daughter? So let's say our answer is X years. I'm trying to make equation here. So how to create a word problem into an equation, that's what we are understanding. So after X years, age of the mother Kirtida will be 35 plus X, right? And same way, after same X years, age of the daughter Radha will be 9 plus X. And what is the relationship given among? Yes, many of you have written that. Yes, Ruchita, that is correct. So 9 plus X, when we multiply it by 2, it becomes equal to 35 plus X. And now you can solve it very easily. That was an easy question. That was not difficult. So variable part is 2x, x. So x comes out to be 35 minus 18, which is 17. Right? That was easy. But now many of you have solved just working with numbers also, just using some logic. So what's that logic? One of you have written, I cannot say the name. So it's written, I took the difference between their edges and then equated to 26. That's wonderful, wonderful. See, those who have not understood, ये recorded रहेगा. Aditya Vikram Singh पूछ रहे हैं, so that we can watch afterwards. Yes, yes, Aditya, it is going to be recorded, and I think it is live on YouTube as well as Facebook. So both ways it will be available for recording. It will be recorded there. You can watch it later also. Okay, now we are understanding how to solve this question without creating equations. Yes, exactly, Archie, that's perfect. Age difference. See, presently age of Radha is 9 years. Radha is 9 years and age of Kirtida is 35, right? So after 1 year, if we see, after 1 year, what will be the difference of their ages? Presently the age difference is 26. Many of you are writing that age difference. So presently age difference between the two persons is 26, right? Here gap is 26. 9 plus 26 is 35. Tell me, after 1 more year, what will be the difference between the ages of these two? Will it remain same or it will be different? Write in the comments, same or different? Will the difference in ages be remain same or different? I'm waiting for your comments. Yes, it is going to be same. Yes, always. After 1 year, after 2 years, after 10 years, or after any number of years, after X years also the difference is going to remain same, right? Now, I do not want to make equations, then how to solve it? So see, let's make the bar graph. So this is, say, Radha, and this is the mother Kirtida. And what we know that the difference in the ages, that is 26, right? The difference is 26. So my dear students, when it is said that I want that age of mother must be double that of daughter, so that means whatever is age of Radha, that must be there twice in the age of Kirtida. So we can divide the age of Kirtida in two parts, both of which is equal to age of Radha, right? So that clearly tells us that age of Radha must be 26, isn't it? I hope you have understood by the diagram. So age of mother Kirtida must be double that of daughter. That means the mother must be equal to age of the daughter plus age of the daughter, and that extra age is equal to 26. It means what is the answer which we are looking for? It is simply that after how many years the daughter Radha will become 26 years old. We just want to know that after how many years this Radha, who is 9 years old presently, will turn 26. So you can easily tell me, in how many years a 9-year girl will turn 26? Can you tell me the answer? Yes, yes, Rimjim, that's correct. Is the logic clear to everyone? Yes, that's correct. Avni, Ashish, Harsh. Yes, Harsh, that was the same logic. Akash, Neil. Yes, we just need to see that a 9-year daughter, a 9-year girl, in how many years she will turn 26. That is equal to the difference. Yes, good. Okay, that was an easier one. I am going to ask you similar question, slightly tweaked. Let's see it here. So, ready for the next question? Here it is on your screen. This was the answer to the last question. And now, the similar question. It says, Radha is 9 years old and her mother Kirtida is 35 years old. Now, question is, in how many years will Kirtida be thrice as old as her daughter? Please write your answers fast. Yes, Utsav, that was not a tough question now, but now answer this and try to do it faster. Okay, Harsh has come up with the answer, 4 years. Some of you are saying 33, 43, 4, 29. Excellent, many of you are getting the answer right. 4 is the correct answer. Okay, now tell me, have you used equation or you have just used the logic? Please write in the comments. Equation or just logic, numbers. Yes, same logic as earlier. Exactly, good. We can still use equations. Some of you have used equation only, no problem. But we can solve it without equations also. So purpose of equation is not to make the questions complicated or tough or lengthier. Purpose of equation is to ease the process of solving. But for most of the students, it's totally opposite. Generally, whenever equation is to be formed, so the mathematics becomes complicated. And if you are thinking logically, so it is quantitative aptitude. It is not a mathematics paper, right? Okay, Neha is asking how 4. Okay, it's very simple, Neha. Let me make the bar graphs again. I'm not writing the equation anymore. It's simple. We know that Radha is 9 years presently and Kirtida is 35 years, right? And the difference between their ages is 26. Clear so far? Now, what do we want? I want that mother Kirtida must become 3 times the age of the daughter Radha, right? So we have seen these ages will keep on changing every year, but the difference 26, it is going to remain same, right? So at a certain age, at a certain scenario, so after let's say x years, as you may have made equations, 9 plus x here, 35 plus x, so whatever it be, so whatever is the age of Radha, mother's age must be thrice of this, right? So if this is R, so this is R, and the difference must be equal to how much? Can you tell me? Difference must be how much? It must be 2R, right? Why? Because total age of, yes, 2R, not 28 Harsh, 2R, twice that of Radha, right? Yes, and this 2R is equal to 26. That means Radha's age must be equal to how much? 13. So I just need to see that in how many years Radha, who is currently 9 years old, will turn 13, and that is 4. So basically, as I said earlier also, purpose of equation is to ease the things. But sometimes when we are unable to comprehend the situation, generally most of the students face difficulty in creating equations, and then solving is another troublesome task. Okay, let's move further to the next questions. I hope so far this is clear. I can keep on creating more and more questions. I just asked in how many years will Kitida be thrice as old as her daughter. I can ask in how many years she is going to be 4 times, 5 times, 1.5 times, and so on. There can be many questions, right? So you can just try to grasp the logic. Let's move further. Okay, here's the next one for you. Okay, Akash is asking for equation. Equation, we have already write equation. See, 9 plus x, and this is 35 plus x. So equation would be simply that 35 plus x, it must be equal to 3 times of 9 plus x. And x is the value which we are looking for. That is a simple equation, right? Yes, Utsav, these are XAT level questions. If you see the paper of XAT, you can find many such questions. There are many such questions. So these are some of the basic questions. After this, I have picked all questions from previous year XATs only. So we are going to solve all those questions also. Okay, let's move. Let's move further. So here is our next question. Yes. Now answer this. It's again a simple question. 25 students of Excel Management School visited a fort. All of these students enjoyed exactly one of the 2 rides. Their total expenditure were 1950 rupees. So this table we are having. So horse ride costs 50 rupees normally. It's normal fare in rupees per person. Camel ride for 100 rupees per person. And in peak hours, the fare are changing. So for horse ride it becomes 3 times, and for camel ride it becomes 2 times. So question is, again an easy question, how many students enjoyed camel ride in the normal fare? Please do it quickly. Okay, we are getting the answers here. Adesh, Ashish, Kajal, Shruti, Rehan, Shefali, Rohan, Rohit, Nisha. We are saying 14. Good. Again, it's an easy question. It's not tough one. And as I answered to one of the comments that XAT has many easier questions. It's not that every question in XAT is very lengthy. There are lengthier questions also. But see, be it a lengthier question or a smaller question, all questions have same weightage in the test. So an easy question or a tough question, they are going to give you same marks if you are going to attempt them correctly. So which should be our first priority? We should look for the easier questions, of course, right? So smaller the language, easier it is, right? Easy to comprehend, we can understand. So, and generally concepts are also not too high. So it's again linear equation question. You can make simple equations and you can solve it, right? Normally what would you do it? By framing equations, let me solve it. So we will say that let's number of persons who are using horse ride is X and number of persons who are using camel ride is Y. So horse ride is taken by X number of persons and camel ride is taken by Y number of persons, right? So what would be the equation? It is simply, we know that total number of persons, that is X plus Y, is 25. And the total expenses are 1950. So which is composed of 50 rupee by this X number of persons, and plus we are having 100 rupees for this Y number of persons. So this total expenditure is 1950, and now we can solve these two equations very easily, right? Okay, now tell me one thing. How many of you have used these equations only to solve this question? Or you did use some again logic again? Linear equations or some logic? Ashish has used equation. Equation, yes, most of the students would be using equation only. But as I said in the beginning, so my objective here is to solve those same questions logically and in a faster way with better understanding. Be it easier question or difficult question or whatever it is, that's an easy equation. That's a simple, maybe 9th class. Some of you have used logic also, good. We have Gaurav Patil and many of you are using equation. That's a simple question, it's not difficult. You can easily multiply this first equation by 50, we can eliminate x, or we can multiply this first equation by y, we can eliminate y. Here we want to find out how many students enjoyed camel ride. Camel ride means y. I want to find the value of y, so it would be better to eliminate x, right? Okay, let's try to use logic here. We'll not consider peak fare in the total expense. Yes, in this question it is not Gagan. So, but there will be next question. Next question will be using this peak hour fare also. But right now in this question, this peak hour data is of no relevance. Right now we are looking only for this one. See how we can solve it. Now see, very easy way here. Now listen carefully what I am saying. There are 25 students, right? If every student must have, if every student would have taken this horse ride only, which costs 50 rupees per person, what would have been the total expenditure? Please write in the comment. If every student would have taken only horse ride, which costs 50 rupees per person, so what would have been the total expense by these 25 students? Yes, it is 1250. Simply 25. Clear? There's no rocket science in this. But now actual expenditure is 1950. How much extra this expense is? Obviously, it is 700. Yes, exactly, Akash. That's perfectly all right. So this 700 extra expense. What is the reason for this? For the students, for the persons who have used camel ride, and for the camel ride they have spent 50 rupee per person extra. So if I divide this 700 by 50, I'm going to get my answer. So 700 by 50, that gives me those 14 persons who have spent 50 rupee extra, which means who have enjoyed camel ride. Good. So Harsh is saying I use this, and some others also said. Good, nice. Is it clear to everyone? Right? So we could have used simple equations also, but that's how the difference is created between a normal problem solver, question solver, or logical solver. Yes, exactly. Hens, lions, there can be different things. Yes, right. So some are, these many heads are there, these many legs are there. Yes, there are various varieties. Right, okay, let's move to the second part of the same question. Let's move to the second part of the same question, and this time I would like you to solve it fast. So this was the answer to the last one. Okay, now the next one. This question says, how much extra will the total expense be if the same students enjoy their same particular rides in peak hour timings now? Same 14 students enjoying camel ride, and horse rides is taken by the remaining students, 11 students. But they are to pay the peak hours fare now. So how much extra will be the expense? Please solve it. Okay, we are getting many answers. 2200, 4450, 2500. Many of you are saying. Yes, Adesh, that is correct. 2500. Okay. How did you answer the question? I am having same inquisitiveness. How did you answer this question now? Any logic, or again found the total expense and total new expense minus the old expense? Rehan is saying 1400 plus 1100. Okay. Good. Good. Ashish is saying same old method. Virally Kashyap, total expense, new expense minus old. See, that is again a traditional way that we know that what are the new expenses. We can find out. The 3 times means, here 3 times means that horse ride which was costing 50 rupee per person earlier, now it is 3 times, that is 150 per person, right? And same way camel ride which was for 100 rupees earlier, now it is twice of earlier, that is 200 per person. And that we had already calculated in the previous question that there are exactly 11 students who have enjoyed this horse ride and 14 use the camel ride. So you can find the total total new expense 11 times 150, 14 times 200, add them and then minus initial. Many of you have done that, final minus initial. Okay, but there can be a better way also. And that was the purpose of asking this question. Yes, Lokesh, that's perfectly all right. See, earlier it was 50 rupee per person for horse ride and now it is 150. I just need to find how much extra the students need to pay. So from 50 to 150, how much extra is to be paid per student? From 50 to 100, it is 100 extra, right? And same way, what is the extra price one need to pay for camel ride? Earlier it was for 100 rupees and now it is 200 rupees to be paid for that. Again 100 rupees extra. That means in every ride, in each of the ride, one is to pay 100 rupee extra. So that hardly matters that how many students are enjoying what type of ride. It is mentioned although they are using same ride, but they are paying 100 rupees extra for each ride. Total 25 rides are there and everyone is paying 100 extra. So it's simply 25 times 100, that is 2500. And as I said earlier also that questions are not difficult, but how do you solve it? That makes the whole difference. I hope I'm clear with this. Any doubts so far? Okay, let's move further now. Before moving to XAT questions, actual XAT questions of previous years, which you may have seen already or will be seeing now also, there's one more question on your screen now. So please be quick to answer that. I'm reading it for you. It says, Akbar and Birbal are playing a game by exchanging money among each other. First, Akbar doubles the money with Birbal by giving from his own share, and after this, Birbal doubles the money with Akbar by giving from his own amount. After these two exchanges, both have 40 rupees each. What were the initial amounts with Akbar and Birbal? I'm giving you a few moments for this. Take your time, answer this question. We will discuss after that. Okay, many of you are writing 50-30, 50-30. Now I don't know whether you have solved it or you are just verifying the answers given by the previous students, because that is also possible. If you are already having an answer, we can easily verify it whether it satisfies or not. Yes, that's correct. Rakhi, Radha Krishna, Prakhar, Isha, Bhanu. Okay, let's see how to do it. So again, you can check the comments. Equations or logic? Equations or numbers? How have you solved it? Some of you are using numbers only and some of you have formed equations. Is anyone there who needs more time to solve? Ankit is saying last step se start karo. Yes, that's perfect logic. And this same logic has been used by many of the exams in many years in various. Now there were only 2 persons. CAT has used the same by using 4 sisters. STUV, Suvarna, Taruna, something something. There are 4 sisters and they are doing some games and like that. Yes, exactly. So we could have used logic and we could have used equations also. By using equations, the question then but solvable. It's not that unsolvable. Voice lag. As I said earlier also, in my screen which I am seeing here, so there is a lag between the video which I am seeing here, but I am seeing your comments continuously. Maybe there is no lag in that. Voice nahi aa rahi. Are others able to hear my voice? वॉइस कट हो रहा है बीच में. No, I'm not Bengali, Gaurav. It's breaking a bit, audible but breaking. My microphone is intact. It's also on. Audible. Okay, there may be some because of network issue maybe. Okay, so let's continue. So as I said earlier, we could have made equation also if you have done, but many of you have given the reason that we could have gone in the reverse order. So what is that reverse order? So there are 2 persons, Akbar and Birbal. Initially they had some amounts, so I am making a table. Initially they had some amounts. So what words? First Akbar doubles the money with Birbal. तो बीरबल के पास जितना भी अमाउंट है, so Akbar is doubling the amount with Birbal, and how he is doubling? He is not doubling it. So what how he is doubling? By giving from his own share, from his own pocket he is giving. And after that Birbal does the same thing, and after these 2 exchanges they are having 40 each. So initially they are having some amount. Akbar doubles the amount. Akbar gives some amount from his share to Birbal and doubles his amount. And after Birbal doubles the amount of Akbar, and finally they have 40 rupees each. So that is the whole scenario. So what is the way to solve? What is the way to think? My voice is lagging lag. I have no solution for this. What about others? Are you? I think that must be certainly network issue, nothing else. Battery discharge हो गई शायद mic की. Okay. Wait, so I'm putting the mic at off then. Let me check with the team here. Okay, am I audible now? Are you able to hear my voice? Or still there is some lag? Is it better? Okay. Right, let's continue. So I hope you may have done so far, but let's, for the sake of completing the question, you are to tell me the answers. In the last step, as some of you said, start from the last. So what we need to do in the last step, both are having 40 each. How did it happen? When B, that is Birbal, has doubled the amount with Akbar. That means after Birbal doubled the amount of Akbar, then Akbar is having 40 rupees. That means before doubling it, he must have half of it, that is 20. Is it not? And that means 20 rupees were given to Akbar by Birbal. So before giving to Akbar, Birbal must have how much? 20 more than this, that is 60. Right? And we just need to do one more iteration in the reverse order. So this situation happened after Akbar has doubled the amount of Birbal. That means after doubling the amount of Birbal, now Birbal is having 60, and before this he must have 30 rupees. So he was given 30 rupees by Akbar, so Akbar must have 50 rupees initially. So these were the initial amounts. So as I said, this was an easier version. So this was the easier version. Only 2 persons I took, as I gave you the example. So this question and many more questions of such type have been asked in various competitive exams. I gave an example of CAT also, in which there were 4 sisters who are playing a game, and every sister lost a game continuously in order, and the person who was winning, who was losing, that particular girl doubled the amount of each of the other 3. So that's how question became lengthier. Anyway, so I hope this idea is clear to everyone. Okay, so let's move further now. Now we are moving to actual XAT questions, and again our objective is same. It's not only, okay, Akash is asking how to solve it from equations. See, this is a good point. Those who have solved with equations, can you suggest what is the way to solve with equations? Any of you would like to suggest how to solve this question with equations? What should be the variables? We are having Akbar and Birbal. What should be the initial amounts? Should we take that to be x and y? Should we use 2 variables or 1 variable? We can take them to be 2 variables, x and y, then we can work. Let's say initially Akbar had x, Birbal had y rupees. When he is doubling the amount of Birbal, his amount of Birbal must be how much? It must be 2y. So it is 2y. That means Akbar has given y amount to him. So balance amount with Akbar must be x minus y, isn't it? Yes, exactly. And after that, when Birbal is doubling the amount of Akbar, so amount with Akbar must become 2 times x minus y. So x minus y needs to be subtracted from here. So 2y minus x minus y, and it is given that both of these amounts are equal and equal to 40. We can solve this. It will become lengthy. It's a lengthy to solve this part. Okay, equations also can be reduced very easily. If you want to make equation, we can remove 1 variable, we can eliminate that. Can we solve this question in only 1 variable? Yes. See, very important point here. At the last, we know that both are having 40 rupees each. So what is the total amount with both of them? Persons, Akbar and is 80 rupees, right? Yes, exactly. So total amount is going to remain 80. So if I am assuming that Akbar was having x initially, so in place of y, I can say he was having 80 minus x. And I can remove one of the variables and try to make it bit easier than this one. But still, it is tedious to equations. That was the best way which we did earlier, that is going in the reverse way logically. Okay. we are moving further now. We are running short of time. We have a lot of questions to do. We have various topics to discuss. So as I said earlier, our objective is not only to solve a question, but solve it in a better way. That's my only objective. Okay? And if you develop that better way of understanding, better way of seeing the questions, so that is going to be the success. Right? Let's move further to the next question. Now, this is from previous XAT papers. I have removed the year and question number. The question is before you. It's from the topic AP. I'm reading it for you. If Sn denotes the sum of first n terms in an arithmetic progression and S1 ratio S4 is 1:10, then the ratio of first term to fourth term is. Please try to solve it and answer. Okay, many of you have given answer very fast, and almost all of you are saying option C, that is 1:4. Okay, how do you rate this question? It's actual XAT question. Easy, or moderate, or difficult? What would you say? Yes, it's very easy question, but for you, may not be for everyone. Yes, very easy, Rehan is saying. See, if we are thinking only to mug up different formulae, Sn, I know how to solve it. Moderate, if doing for the first time, Adesh is saying. Yes, as I said, if you are just using formulae, I know the formula for sum of n terms of an AP, I know what is the nth term, I can write all the formulae and write the given ratios and then simplify it, find the A, D, N and so on, then I will solve it. So it may take some time, but as you can see from the comments here only, that many of you are solving it very fast. So I'm saying it repeatedly, my sole objective is that all of you who are seeing this video now, or maybe many of you may be seeing it later, so you can do it very fast. That's my sole objective, that you should be able to do it very fast. So see, it says Sn denotes the sum of first n terms in an arithmetic progression. So Sn is sum, and S1 ratio 4 is 1:10. So S means only first term and S4 means sum of first 4 terms, right? So what directly comes to your mind? Can you think of such AP where S1 ratio S4 is 1:10? Simple words if I say, where first term A1 is 1 only, 4, which is A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4. Yes, exactly, Aditya. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the question of that. So you can make the question as difficult as possible because I need to use all the formulae which I have mugged up. कब use करूँगा उसे पूरी जिंदगी में, है ना? So this is not the opportunity to use all the things which you have mugged up, for so many years maybe. So you need to think logically and make it as simple as possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is clearly the sequence, the AP. which satisfy this whole conditions, that first term, the sum of first term is 1 and sum of first 4 terms is 10. So clearly the answer, the ratio of first term to the fourth term is simply this 1, 2, 3, 4, these were the sequences, these were the term. So first term is 1 and fourth term is 4. So the required ratio is clearly 1:4. Is it clear? Should we move forward? Next question. I know generally you have your classes in daytime or evening time, and this is a cold winter night. So I'm sure it must be a bit tiring for you, maybe. Okay, so kindly have some more patience. We will do many more questions from actual XAT, and I'm showing you that how XAT questions are not difficult at all. You just need to pick the right question and do it in a better way, correct way. Okay, here's the next question for you. So this was the answer to the last question, and now the next question. This one is from functions part. This symbol is the integral part. It is known as greatest integer function. So I'm reading it for you. If x is equal to 9 plus 4 root 5 whole power 48, and this is written as integral part of the number plus f. So this is defined as integral part of x, and f is a fraction, then x times 1 minus f equals. These are the options with you. So take your time and solve this question. I'm seeing different answers here. B, D, C, A also now. I'm giving you 1 more minute. Please try and come to the right conclusion. Okay, Rimjim is saying E ko kyun chhode hain na? When all other options have been used, so E must also be used. Okay, now some of you who were blaming me earlier for slightly easier questions, now you won't do that, I hope. Okay, so yes, A is the right answer. A is the right answer. Few of you have got that, but I can see many different answers also. B, C, and G, and E selected by Rimjim also. Okay, I hope all of you have studied about what is this greatest integer function or the integral part of the number. All of you know that what is greatest integral part? Let me start with a basic one. If I ask you what is the value of greatest integral number, your greatest integral value of 5.1, write in the comments. Yes, it's 5. So all of you are familiar with what is the meaning of greatest integer function. I was just checking that. Okay, that's 5. Let me check once more. What will be 5.1? Write in the comments now. Yes, Rhythm, that's correct. It's -6 now. Yes. We have Radha Krishna, Mandeep. It's not still 5, Archie. It's not a modulus sign. Don't mix it with the modulus sign or absolute value sign. Absolute value function is different, and modulus function, this greatest integer function is different. So basically, on number line, if I see, let's say this is number line, here it is, say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And on the negative side also, we have -1, -2, -5, and so on, other numbers. So whatever is the value of x, let's say 5.1, so 5.1 would be lying somewhere after 5, maybe this is 5.1. And same way, if I am looking for -5.1, it will be lying before -5 here. So it will be somewhere between -5 and -6. So somewhere here, it's -5.1. So when I put these brackets, these square brackets, which meant greatest integer function, so this function tells us that what is the greatest integer, or what is the largest integer which is equal to that particular number, if that number is integer only, or just before that. Okay, so in this positive case, so 5.1 is not an integer that you know, right? So just before that or just less than that, yes, greatest integer less than or equal to. So before 5.1, what is the greatest integer? It is 5. So that's how it was 5. And in this case, before -5.1, the greatest integer is -6. So this value comes out to be -6. Okay, that was just a basic introduction or basic recap of greatest integer function. Now in this question, let's come to this one. It is x is equal to 9 plus 4 root 5 whole power 48. So this is having some integral part and some fractional part. In all the numbers you can see there is some integral part and some fractional part. Let's come back to this recap again. So this 5.1, as I wrote here. So this 5.1 is having this 5 as integral part. What is the fractional part here in this number? What is the fractional part here? You can write in the comments. What is the fractional part in this number here? Yes, it is 0.1. Positive or negative? Of course it is positive. 1 by 10. It is positive 0.1. That's easily visible, that's not difficult. Let's see this negative number. For -5.1, we have just talked that its greatest integral part, greatest integral value is -6. Can you tell me what is the fractional part in this number? What is the fractional part in this minus 5.1? What is the fractional part? Yes, it is 9/10 or 0.9 positive, right? So it is plus 0.9. So dear students, important 0.9, sorry. So the important point here to observe and to note is that fractional part of a number is never negative. Integral part may be negative, may be positive, may be 0, but fractional part is always greater than 0. So let me conclude it like this. So if we are having any real number x, so it is going to have some integral part, let me call it I, and some fractional part, so plus f. So this fractional part is always going to be positive. This I is integer, it can be negative integer, positive integer, or 0, but this fractional part, what are the constraints on this? So as I said, this fractional part is always going to be greater than 0. And what is going to be the upper limit? What is going to be the upper limit? What can be the maximum value for this fractional part in any real number? It is always going to be less than 1. Yes, that's correct. So it is going to be less than 1. So but then there can be one confusion in mind. What about the integer numbers? There is no fractional part there. So for that we can include the equality also, that this fractional part, it can be 0 also. So the fractional part is greater than or equal to 0, but always less than 1. Is it clear so far? So this is our conclusion in short about the greatest integer function values. Okay, I'm coming to this question again. So let me create some space. I hope hold this part, all of you. If there is any confusion in any point, you can always ask. Because if you do not ask, then how will I get to know that you have understood or not? Okay, now let's see how to do this question. I have included this question in this specially selected questions because it is very easy question, but its appearance is not that easy, as many of you have fumbled here. See, now this 9 plus 4 root 5 raised to the power 48. It is going to have some integral part and some fractional part. Let me write it. 9 plus 4 root 5 whole power 48. Let's simplify it a bit. Those of you who have studied mathematics after 10th class, that is in 11th and 12th, so you know you can expand it binomially, right? Do you know how to expand it binomially? How many of you know? Please tell me yes. Do you know it or you don't know? That is sufficient to tell me yes or no. Do you know how to expand it? No. Yes, I was estimating that there can be many students who do not know. Formula yaad nahi. Okay, no problem. Yes, some of you know. ठीक है, no problem. But still this question can be answered. Although this is an old question nowadays, such heavy looking questions which use 11th and 12th class mathematics are rarely seen. But still the question is not difficult at all. ठीक है, some of you know and some of you don't. Anyway, but all of you can see when you are going to expand this, it is going to be a large number. It is going to have some integral part and some fractional part. There is no confusion about that, right? So let me write the integral part as I, which is written as bracket of x here, and the fractional part as f, as it mentioned. And as we have discussed, seen here, this fractional part is always going to be less than 0. There should be no confusion regarding this part, right? This part is certainly clear. There is no doubt here, right? Now, the important key point here to solve this question, whenever we see what should I call it, this irrational term, we should always go for its counterpart, which is its conjugate pair, right? Its conjugate pair. What is going to be its conjugate pair? We have used this term many times in many places. 9 plus 4 root 5. What will be its conjugate pair? its conjugate pair is 9 minus 4 root 5. Basically, I know it is difficult to type here, but I hope many of you know, or I think almost all of you must know this. Yes, that's correct. It's 9 minus 4 root 5. So basically the term with the root sign, we change its sign to from positive to negative or negative to positive. That is called its conjugate pair. So 9 minus 4 root 5 and with same power 48, that is a conjugate pair for this irrational number. Right. Okay, and now what is the beauty of this number? First tell me one thing. This 9 minus 4 root 5, this term, is it less than 1 or more than 1? Approximately I want it. 9 minus 4 root 5, is it less than 1 or more than 1? It is less than 1. See, even if I do not know, I know that root 5 is less than root 4. Root 4 is 2. तो 4 into 2 is 8. तो ये 8 से कुछ ज़्यादा ही होने वाला है. So 9 minus 8 point something is going to be certainly less than 1. Now, when a term less than 1 is raised to power 48, can you estimate what will be its integral part? Will it become more than 1 or not? Yes, it is going to be less than 1 only. There will be no integral part, only fractional part. Right, integral part will be 0. So basically this number is only having fractional part. There is no integral part, 0, as some of you have written it. Till this point, is it clear? See how we have seen. Let me take an example. This is a number less than 1. All of you have agreed. So take any number less than 1, say 0.9. I am taking the larger number. Even if you just square it, is it going to be more than 1 or less than 1? It's going to be less than 1. Always. Right? So, and this number is raised to power 48. This is going to be much less than 1. Right, so there is no integral part, or there is integral part is 0, and this number is only having fractional part. Right, till this point it is clear. Okay, now the final step. Now final step is very simple. If we expand, as I was telling earlier, if you expand this expression binomially, what is going to happen? You may not know the exact formula, but all of you know this formula. You know a plus b whole square. If it is not very difficult for you to type, can you tell me what will be the proper order to write it binomially? In the first term, you are going to write a square, right? You are giving this whole power of 2 to a, and then we are decreasing one power from a and we are including one term of b. It becomes 2ab, and then final term is b square, right? All of you know that. That's binomial expansion only. Okay, let's see one more. A plus b whole cube. What is going to happen? Again similar thing. It is going to be whole powers of 3 is going being distributed to a only. It's a cube, and then next term, binomial term, will be decrease one power of a and include one of b. The terms comes out to be 3a square b, because coefficient is also to be taken care of. But if I do not know binomial, don't bother. It is going to be 3a square b. Next term is 3ab square, and final term is b cube. Right? And if in place of positive sign, if it had been negative sign, we can easily deal with that also. Right? That's not difficult at all. So same way here. So when we are going to expand this, it is going to, in the first term, I am going to have 9 power 48, and then next term with positive sign with some coefficient, it will be 9 power 47 times 4 into root 5, and so on. Right? So the second term will be irrational term. Next term will be integral term, and so on. And in this expansion, if we do, so we will see all the terms which were irrational here in this expansion are with same magnitude but with negative sign. So if I add these two expressions, let me write it for you so that it becomes easier to understand. So if I'm expanding this, it is going to be 9 power 48, 9 power 48 plus some coefficient. I'm not bothering for the coefficient, let it be C1, C1. So it is 9 power 47 into this irrational term, which is 4 root 5 power 1. Now next term will be again with positive sign, it will be C2, the next coefficient. I'm not bothering for the coefficient. It is going to be 9 power 46 and 1 power will be increased for the next term, that is 4 root 5 square, and so on. Have you understood the expansion? It is doable question, Radhakrishnan. It's very easy. I just don't need to solve it. I'm just writing it for those who are not familiar with binomial theorem or something. We just need to be a little bit clear, and I think we are doing it here. It's same way. So in this question, in this question here, so when I'm expanding this, so what is going to be the difference? What is going to be the change? Its change is only in the sign of the second term. It's 9 minus 4 root 5. So the first term is going to be same, 9 power 48. Next term with C1 same, but 9 power 47 again same. But in this bracket, it will be minus 4 root 5. It will be minus 4 root 5 with 1 power. Now see this second term here and here. What is the difference? This is positive term and this one is negative. Right? So these two terms are going to be cancelled. And in the next term, if I'm going to write, again it is going to be C2, 9 power 46 into 4 root 5 with minus sign and power 2. So because it is power 2, even power, it is going to be integer number. So all integral terms are being added, but irrational terms are being cancelled. So that was the whole thing. So if I add these two terms, so I'm going to get only integral number. Now a quick question to all of you. See here, I plus f and this f dash only. If I'm adding them, I'm getting an integral number. Ankit, this concept is not required. That's what I'm saying. You don't think that I don't know binomial, or I don't remember the formula, or I am fearful of that chapter, or I have not revised it. People may do that, but that's not required, because all of you are using these basic algebraic identities, a plus b whole square, a plus b whole cube. All of you are using that. We cannot avoid that. I've just written them to just show that the terms which we are going to be irrational, they are going to be cancelled because of positive and negative sign. That we are going to get here also. If I would have asked a minus b whole cube, a minus b whole square, right? So in this case, this f plus f dash is going to be integer. Can you tell me what can be the sum of two fractional numbers? It is an integer, it is given now. F plus f dash is going to be integer. I is already integer. So f plus f dash is going to be integer. Can you tell me what will be the value? What will be the integral value of f plus f dash? Just tell me this thing in comments. And yes, of course, this is one of the tough questions of XAT when it appeared. Adesh is saying 1. All of you take your time. You need to have some reason why, how to get this value. We know that this sum is integer. Mind that. We know that sum of these two terms is integer. I is already integer. 0 is already integer. But these two fractional part are adding up to give an integer. So I'm just asking what will be that integer number? The value of f plus f dash. It can't be 0, Ankit or Swasti or many of you writing that. 0 is not possible because none of them is 0. This is a non-zero number. And this is not an integral number. There are going to be some irrational terms. So some decimal part is going to be there. So some fractional part is there. And none of them is negative. We know that both of them are non-zero and greater than 0. So two fractions, both of which are more than 0 but less than 1, and when adding them we are getting we are getting an integer. So that integer can be only 1 because both of them are less than 1. So by adding them only we can get integer 1, right? So that clearly means this f dash is nothing but 1 minus f, and that's what question is asking about. If you see this question, it is asking about that only, x times 1 minus f. right? X means this given number, and 1 minus f, that's conjugate pair. So basically question is only asking about product of these two terms which we have written here. I hope you can easily find this product. Please tell me what is the product. Is it difficult to multiply these two terms? These two conjugate numbers? Yes, Ashar, that's correct. It's going to be 1. How to solve this? It is a plus root b or a minus root b. We can use that simple a square minus b square. This power 48 can be used later, right? So it is simply 9 square minus 4 root 5 whole square. And this whole term is raised to power 48. Are we on the same page? Everyone is understanding this? Now 4 root 5 whole square, how much it is? It is 4 square 16. 16 times 5, that makes it 80. Now 81 minus 80 is 1, and 1 raised to any power gives you 1 only, any integral power. So clearly answer here is first option, that is a is equal to 1. I have just taken time to answer this question to explain you every bit of it. It's a very simple question. When I was choosing the questions for this session, I was seeing that only, that there are many questions which appear to be tough in the first appearance, in their appearance. But if we are clear with the concepts, I don't need it to write anything actually. While solving this, I don't need to write. I didn't remember the answer. As I said, it is an old question of XAT. So, but they are very easy things. Sam, in the last we have just multiplied these two terms because we are to find x times 1 minus f. So x was this given number and 1 minus f is nothing but its conjugate pair. So basically question is asking about the product of these two, that is product of these two conjugate numbers. And this is a plus b, a minus b. You can simply use the identity a square minus b square. That's what we have done. So a square minus b square, that is 9 square 81, minus 4 root 5 square, that is 80, as some of you have written also in comments. Yes, that is 81 minus 80. X into 1 minus f. Yes. X की क्या वैल्यू आई? X की वैल्यू मुझे नहीं पता भाई. X की वैल्यू कौन निकालेगा? I am not going to calculate the value of x. X is the given number, right? And 1 minus f is simply its conjugate. We are to find the value of this product. That's what we are doing. Okay, let's move further now. So this question was not difficult, but only difficulty was its appearance. Only difficult or tough was its appearance. So if we are thorough with our basic concepts, so nothing much was to be written for this. Nothing of this was to be written. I solved this question mentally. I just understood okay, what is going to happen. This is going to be only fractional part of the number, and by adding the 2, we are going to get integer, which means this conjugate part is nothing but 1 minus f. And these two are to be multiplied. That was the whole question. Okay, let's move further to the next question. We are running out of time and we have a lot of questions to discuss. Let's see how much we can. Here is the next one. If x is more than 8 and y is more than minus 4, which one of the following is always true? Gaurav is asking, sir, why don't you also teach CAT? Yes, I will be. Right now, we are focusing on XAT. So, as I said in the beginning, so these sessions which you are attending right now, they are the free sessions. Some of you have attended few sessions, earlier sessions, and there is one more session tomorrow for DI. And in the next month till XAT, we'll be focusing on XAT only. But yes, we'll be teaching in. I will be teaching in all these sessions. Now try to answer this question. It's an easy one. Okay, Radhakrishnan says B. While answering these types of questions, try to negate the options. Try to contradict the options. So first option says xy is less than 0. Can this be always true? Yes, many of you are writing the right answer now. Option C is the correct answer. So we just need to see, as I said, we just need to see whether can we negate the given options. So first option says x into y, the product of x and y is less than 0. Can we negate this? Yes, because y is more than -4. I can take any positive value of y, and x is already positive, it's more than 8. So the product need not to be negative. So first option is negated. Like that we can easily find out the relation, and yes, option C is correct. Let's, I think, quickly move to the answer. Option C is the right one. Many of you have done it. And let's move to the next one so that we can solve some more. Okay, here's again from progressions. Try to answer this. What is the sum of first 100 terms which are common to both the progressions? So two progressions are given, 7, 21, 25 and so on, and another one is 16, 21, 26 and so on. Options are with you. Okay, many of you have given the options. Answer option B. Let's see the correct answer. Yes, it is B, 101100. So how to answer this? How to solve this? It's not difficult at all. I hope you can easily find out the common terms. First common term is 21. That's clearly visible. Can you tell me what will be the next common term? Please quickly write in the option comments. What will be the next common term? After 21, what will be the next common term? Yes, it is 41. How did we get to know this? Because of the common difference. In this first sequence, it's an AP with a common difference of 4, right? 17 plus 4 makes it 21. Let me write it. 17 plus 4 makes it 21. 21 plus 4 makes it 25, and so on. And in the second sequence, we have common difference of 5. So 16 plus 5 makes it 21, and again 21 plus 5 makes it 26. So 21 is the first common term. Now the next common term, wherever it will be fulfilling the gap. It will be having a gap which is a multiple of 4, which can be broken in terms of 4 as a multiple of 4, and it is also multiple of 5. So multiple of 4 as well as 5, that is the common difference of the common term sequence, will be LCM of 4 and 5, that is 20. That's right. So 21, 41, then obviously next one will be 61, 81 and so on. So these are the terms, right? And we are to find sum of the first 100 terms of this sequence of common terms, right? Now we know the first term, we know the common difference, and we know the number of terms to be added. How you are going to answer this question now? That's not a difficult question. Again, actual XAT question it is. Now, what is the next step? How to solve it? Formula or any logic? Okay, formula, some formula. Most of you are using some formula only. Okay, still it is not required. Yes, many of you will use formula, but still it is not required. My dear students, every term is having one. How many terms are having 1? There are 100 terms, right? So this is 20 plus 1, 40 plus 1, 60 plus 1, 80 plus 1, and so on. So we can easily take out that 100 separate. So 100 is always going to be there. And beside that, the other terms all are multiples of 20, right? 20 times 1, 20 times 2, 20 times 3, and so on. So if I am going to bifurcate it, even if you are going to use formula, make it simpler. I repeat, even if you are going to use formula, make it simpler. So I am breaking it as 20 plus 1, 40 plus 1, 60 plus 1, and so on. So it is 20 times 1 plus 2 plus 3, and so on. Plus another term is the plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 100. Are you getting me what I am saying? Now this part, 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to how many times? It is 100. Formula bata dijiye. Okay, Akash ji keh rahe hain formula for sum of n terms. I'm writing it here. It will be difficult for you to type maybe. So Sn is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. And all the terms have their regular meaning. So n is the number of terms, a is the first term, d is the common difference, right? So we can use formula as many of you have used, but we can make it simpler to reduce our calculations. And as I said in the beginning, that is our sole objective, how to answer the easier questions also in a better way. Certainly we must look for the only easier questions to answer at the time of test, at least whatever is available to us. So but how to solve it in a better way, that should be our objective. Okay, I think we should move forward now. Is it clear? Okay, I hope there is no doubt so far. Let's move to the next one. Try to answer this question. X plus y plus z is equal to 1 and x, y, z are positive real numbers. Then you have to find the least value of 1 upon x minus 1 multiplied with 1 upon y minus 1 multiplied with 1 upon z minus 1. Options are given here, 4, 8, 16, and none of the above. We have started giving answers. 8, B, 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 8. So B is 8. That 8 is correct answer. And I'm sure there are no shortcuts here. What's the way you have used? How you have answered this? I'm sure you have not used any lengthier method here. Exactly, Devjyoti, that's correct. So divide x, y, z equally. Excellent. Yes, Sam, that's correct. See, it's a very simple conclusion which we can always use in the questions of algebra, that in whatever expression, algebraic expression, all the variables are being used symmetrically or equally. There is no special weightage given to any particular variable. So then that particular expression achieves its extreme value when all the variables are equal. So product of so numbers should be close to each other, so equal. You are mixing 2-3 things, Bhanu. But anyway, right now here it is perfectly fine. There will be no flow here. But otherwise, what you are saying, may not be true always. There can be many situations like that. Anyway, so as I said here, this expression is symmetrical expression. This is equally balanced expression. There is no special weightage given to x or y or z. They have been used equally. So in such type of expression, I can call it cyclic expression or symmetric expression. Why I'm saying cyclic? If I replace x by y and y by z and z by x, expression is not going to change. I repeat what I'm saying. This is called cyclic expression or symmetric expression because if I change x by y and y by z and z by x, it is going to remain same. So these kinds of expression achieves their extreme value when all of them are equal, and in this case all of them should be 1 by 3, right? So just by putting the value we can easily get the answer. But mind that the words which I have used, I have said in a symmetric expression the terms equal and I'm going to get the extreme value. But my dear students, does not mean the least value. Extreme could have been the upper extreme or lower extreme, right? So how to identify whether this extreme value which you have found to be 8 is the least? How to confirm that? We have not solved it anything. We have just used this thing to put them equal, right? So, and that's perfectly fine if we are going to get one extreme value. But whether it is lower extreme or upper extreme, how we are going to confirm that? Any ideas for that? Right now we have taken x, y, z to 1 by 3 each, and we have the values to get the answer. Now how to check whether this is upper extreme or lower extreme? 1 by 3, what happens? It is 1 upon 1 by 3, that is 2, 3 minus 1, that is 2, multiply with 2, multiply with 2, that is 8. That all of you have calculated, right? I hope my question is clear to you. Have you understood what I am asking? Now see how I can do it. How I can verify whether the value 8 which I have got is upper extreme or lower extreme. It's very simple. Rudra is doubting upper. Yes, AM is less than equal to GM. Shubham, that's correct. So that is the reason. But we have not used the inequality here. We are just using the result. So how to confirm whether it is upper extreme or lower extreme? See, the simple way here is change the values. Why we are keeping them equal? If they are not equal, then what is going to happen? Let's check that also, isn't it? Can you suggest me any values of x, y, z which we can put here other than making them equal? Suggest me some values. One easy set of values which I can think of right now is, I can take 1, 0, 0. 0, 0, I can't take because they are positive real numbers, my dear. They are positive real numbers. Rudra, I cannot take negative also. That's perfectly fine, Apurva. 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 2. I would go for that. So 1 by 2, 4. We can take other easier one we should choose. So 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 2. Let's for right now, for the time being, I'm using that. 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 2. 1 by 2. Okay. So if I'm taking x to be 1 by 4, so 1 upon x is going to be 4, and 4 minus 1 will be 3, right? So the expression is going to become 3 multiplied with 3, and next step is going to be 2 minus 1, that is 1. And the value comes out to be 9. Are you getting it? So what does this confirm? That the value 8 which we got earlier is the lower extreme or the least value as required. Alright? So that's how we can easily find out in this symmetric expression the value which we have got is lower extreme value or upper extreme value, because specifically in XAT we have this option none of the above. It could have been the opposite case. Maybe the value which we have got is upper extreme and lower extreme. There is no limited value. There is no lower limit. So that is, these sorts of things can be there. So Radhakrishnan is asking how to get maximum value. So in this case, we can keep on changing values and there is no upper extreme. So upper extreme value is infinite. There is no upper extreme here. Okay. So as we keep on changing the values of x, y, and z, we can increase this value by many folds. Okay. CAT response sheet we will see after this session. So let's quickly reach to the culmination of the session by doing at least 1 or 2 more questions. Let's try to answer this one fast. It's 8:40. We can take, I think, 1 or 2 more questions. After this, we will do 1 more question at least. Okay. Please solve this. ABCD is a square whose side is 2 centimeter each, taking AB and AD as axis. The equation of the circle circumscribing the square is. I'm waiting for your answers. D, A, A. Okay, let's check how to do it. It's not difficult question if you are familiar with the coordinate geometry part. So here AB and AD are being taken as axis. So let's say this is a square. So A, B, C, D, that's a square, and AB and AD are acting as axis. So if they are acting as axis, so A must be origin. What will be the coordinate of A? 0, 0, it's origin. The length is 2, so we can easily find out the coordinates of all other points, right? So this is 0, 0. This is going to be 2, 0, 2, 2, and 0, 2, right? Now, question is equation of the circle circumscribing the square. So equation of circle circumscribing the square. So circle passes through all the 4 vertices of this square. We want to find that. We want to find the equation of that circle. So I hope you know how to write the equation of circle. So it is x minus plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square, where a comma b is center and r is radius. Sometimes we write it by h and k also. So I have written a and b here. So this a comma b is the center. This is center of circle and r is radius. So that is the equation of circle. Now we know the center of the circle. Can you tell me the coordinates of center in this circle? What will be the coordinates of center in the circle? Because this length is 2, so center is going to lie at exactly mid of this. So yes, it is 1, 1. So 1, 1. So A is 1, B is 1. And can you tell me what is the radius? Radius means center being joined with the vertex. So radius here we can easily calculate. It is 1, 1, and so this radius, the hypotenuse, is going to be Yes, exactly. So we know all the, A is B is 1, R is root 2. We can easily put all these values and get our answer. So there's no rocket science here. There's nothing difficult part here. So it is x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square is equal to root 2 square, that is 2. Right? So now it's simply x square minus 2x plus 1, and the other bracket is y square minus 2x plus minus 2y plus 1, and that is equal to 2. And this 2 will be cancelled with this plus 1 and plus 1, and I'm left with the option A. So this is the right one. Okay. Last question for the day now on your screen. Here it is. If A is 24, B is 26, C is 28, then the value of A square plus B square plus C square minus AB minus BC minus CA will be. Find it fast. Okay, we have got one answer, 12. Okay, Naif, Anurag, Bhanu. Indeed, 12 is the right. May I know how you have done it? Have you put the values of A, B and C in this expression? That is going to take a lot of time if you have done that. What is the way to answer this question? Again, it is not an insolvable question. Values are known to us, A, B and C. We can put them and get the answer. Calculation kiya hai Akash? Acha. Any better way? Formula of A plus B plus C whole square. But उसमें तो positive आ जाएगा ना? A square plus B square plus C square plus 2B. A, B, C are in AP, so this value will be 3D square. Oh, nice. 24, 26, 28. So yes, they are in AP, so we can use that part also. Very nice. See, while I chose this question, Harsh is saying, write A plus B plus C whole square minus 3 times AB plus BC plus CA. Good. But still, उतना तो AB plus BC plus CA तो calculate करना होगा ना. So as I said earlier, when I chose this question for this today's session, so what came in my mind is a simple identity, algebraic identity, which you have learned in your 9th class mathematics. That is given in NCERT of 9th class. So what it is, see, if I multiply this whole expression by 2, if I multiply this, what you are doing is perfectly fine. So what I'm doing, see that also. So if I multiply this whole expression by 2 and divide by 2 also. See here, so I'm multiplying it by 2 and dividing it by 2. So 1 by 2 times it becomes 2a square, 2b square, 2c square minus 2ab minus 2bc minus 2c. So I'm keeping 1a square here along with that 1b square and using minus 2ab. Right? I'm still left with 1a square and 1b square. Right? Don't forget that. Now next I'm utilizing this minus 2b, this 1c square and this minus 2bc. Same way, the final term I'm left with now 1a square and 1c square. A square plus c square minus 2ca or ac. Right? So it simply becomes half a minus b whole square plus b minus c whole square plus c minus a whole square. Is it not? And I'm done. I didn't need to write while solving this question. As I said, when I choose these questions, so I was just thinking which questions are I can writing even a single thing. Just write the answers. So a minus b or b minus a, it is 2, so 2 square. B minus c or c minus b, because it is square, so it is again 2 square. And c minus a, that is 4 square. And I just need to do half for this. So 2 square is 4 and another 4, that makes it 8, and 4 square is 16. So 16 plus 8 is 24, and 24 divided by 2, that gives me 12. So I am not working with larger numbers. That's it, right? So there can be various ways, as you have done, many you have done. So this is also a way, and I find it, I think it is easier, maybe. At least I'm working with small. So I hope this session may have added some value to your understanding, your preparation. And if you wish to continue, so you can join our XAT course. Is there any calculator in XAT, so that you can check in the XAT format, because the things are updated, upgraded every year. So Anurag, so you can certainly go through the XAT information. You can find out there. Initially, in earlier years, it need not to be there. It was not there. So what is the present status? You need to confirm from the website. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. And by the way, regarding calculator, one thing I would like to comment, whether it is there or not, CAT, it has been there since 2009 when it went to online. So, and I have been attempting CAT almost every year since last 3-4 years. I have not attempted. So, and I have regularly got 99.99 percentile in Quant section and LRDA section as well. And overall also I have gotten more than 99 percentile, but I have never used the calculator. It is not required. As values are set in such a way that you can easily answer the questions. So try to avoid lengthier calculations. That's my suggestion to all of you. Yes, Kajal, that is my only strategy, that I will try to solve the questions in the best way possible. I can use options, I can reduce my calculations, but I will always avoid doing lengthier calculations. Okay, thank you very much. I would like to invite you for tomorrow's session as well. Tomorrow we are going to have again another free session for XAT, and that will be for DI, data interpretation.